Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यनामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and last time we discussed how Narad Muni, he went to Kamsa and he revealed the identity of Krishna and Balram as the sons of Vasudev, and Kamsa became so very angry. And then Narad Muni told that you don't, and Kamsa was about to kill Vasudev and Devaki, but Narad Muni told him that you don't kill them, because if you kill Vasudev and Devaki, then uh, Nanda Maharaj will come to know, and then he will hide along with Krishna and Balram. So that is what Narad Muni told. And following the instructions of Narad Muni, Kamsa, he did not try to kill Vasudeva, but he arrested Vasudeva and Devaki. And then after Narad Muni left, Kamsa thought, let me give a last chance. So he sent Keshi, and Vyomasur also came. So Keshi was also killed by Krishna in the morning, and then Vyomasur came in the afternoon. He was also killed. So that's what we discussed. And then in the 38th chapter, which is entitled The Akrura's Arrival in Vrindavan. So we discussed last time that Kamsa gave orders to Keshi, and Keshi was sent to Braja. Next morning, Keshi was killed. Then Vyomasur was also there. He also went. This Akrura, he also departed because Kamsa he called Akrura and sent him to Vrindavan to bring Krishna and Balram. So Akrura departed for Braja the same morning. Keshi was killed, and then in the afternoon Vyomasur was killed, and then in the evening Akrura he reached Braj. So that is what we are going to discuss, how Akrura arrived in Vrindavan. So Shukdev Goswami continues that after Akrura, he was given the order by Kamsa that you go and bring Krishna and Balram. He passed the night in Mathura thinking of Krishna. Next morning, the beautiful chariot which was made by Kamsa specially to get Krishna and Balram, Akrura mounted the chariot and went off for the village of Nanda Maharaj. So this whole chapter describes the feelings of Akrura. So as Akrura left for Vrindavan, he was absorbed in intense devotion to the Supreme Lord. And this whole chapter describes the feeling of a pure devotee when he is about to meet the Supreme Lord. what all ecstasies, what all sentiments a devotee feels when he is about to meet the Supreme Lord, and that too after a long, long separation. That is the eagerness. So, this chapter describes in very graphic details the eagerness which the devotee has for the Lord. And then, as Akrura is going, he is thinking so many things. किं मया चरितं भद्रं किं तप्तं परमं तपः किं वा थाप्यर्हते दत्तं यद्रक्षस्यामि आद्य केशवम्. So he's thinking, what pious deeds have I done? Kim maya charitam bhadram. What pious deeds have I done? Kim taptam. What austerities I have done? Kim vathapi arhate. What austerity, what worship, what charity I have done. That today, adya, today I'll be able to have the darshan of the Supreme Lord Keshava. So, to get the association and darshan of the Supreme Lord is not so easy. And we have heard many times that any of the external things cannot please the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj also tells to his classmates, Nalam dvijatvam devatvam rishitvam va suratmaja prinanaya mukundasya na vrittam na bahugyata na danam na tapo na ijya na shaucham na vratani cha priyate amalaya bhaktya hari anyad vidambanam. So in that, Prahlad Maharaj is telling, you cannot please the Supreme Lord, Mukunda, by being a Devata, by being a Rishi, Nalam Dvijatvam, by being a Brahmana, you cannot please the Lord. Na Dhanam, nor by charity, na Tapasya, nor by doing austerity, nor by worship, nor by practicing the vows of cleanliness. Nothing can please the Lord. Only one thing pleases the Lord. That is Priyate Amalaya Bhaktya. Unalloyed devotional service to the Supreme Lord pleases the Supreme Lord. Other than that, nothing pleases the Lord. So Akrura is getting so very bewildered. What austerities I have done? Actually, he is such a pure devotee. He is thinking, I have not done anything. Out of humility, he is thinking like this. I have not done anything great, but he has pure devotion for the Supreme Lord. So therefore, out of his humility, he is thinking like all these things. Krishna is bhavagrahi. You cannot please Krishna by all the external display of your skills and capacities and whatever you are expert at. Only by practicing genuine devotional sentiments, genuine Krishna consciousness, we can please the Lord. Amaitadurlabham manya uttama shloka darshanam Vishayatmano yatha brahma kirtanam shudra janmanah. He says, I think mamaita durlabham manya. It is as difficult for me to get darshan of uttama shloka. To get darshan of Lord is not so easy. He says, just like a materialistic person. I am a materialistic person. Out of his humility, he is saying, I am a materialistic person absorbed in material sense gratification. Vishay Atma. The word used is Vishay Atma, whose mind is absorbed in sense gratification. So this is the 38th chapter going on. Vishay Atma. So currently the fourth verse is going on. So Akrura is saying, my mind is so very absorbed in Vishaya. Atma is absorbed in Vishaya. That means the mind, if it is absorbed in Vishaya, you cannot see the Supreme Lord. You cannot have darshan of the Supreme Lord. That's why Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, unless you free your mind and senses from sense gratification, you cannot please the Supreme Lord. Even if one of the senses get distracted, mind will follow and intelligence will follow. Only by very focused devotional service, one can please the Lord. भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया परितचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते. So Krishna is saying a person who is absorbed in sense gratification and opulence, he cannot have steady intelligence to practice Krishna consciousness. So therefore, in this world which is full of distractions, we have to be really focused. If the mind becomes Vishaya Atma, then we cannot have darshan of the Lord. If the mind is still attracted towards the topics of the politics, topics of the sports, of the mundane affairs which are going on, it is very, very difficult to attract Krishna's attention. And many times, you know, uh, even practicing devotees, they give justification. No, no, we have to know these things so that we can stay in the world properly. But in the name of knowing some things, we spend lots of the time. Our Atma becomes Vishaya, either sports or politics or the nationalistic things which are going on. He says, Mamaita Durlabham Manne. I am so very, it is so very difficult for me to get darshan of the Lord because my mind is Vishaya Atma. Just like a Shudra or a low born person cannot understand the scriptures, similarly, a materialistic person cannot see the Supreme Lord. And then he speaks a very famous verse. Maevam mamadhamasyapi syatevachyuta darshanaha riyamana kalanadya kvachittarati kasyanaha. But then he says, enough of such thoughts. Although I am unfortunate, but today I will get darshan of the Lord. Achyuta darshan, I will get darshan of the Lord. You know why? Just because by the will of providence, sometimes just like the two straws, they come and meet in the ocean, in the river, and then they get separated. Riyamana kalanadya kvachittarati kasyana. Similarly, when a conditioned soul who is being swept in this river of time, sometimes by the grace of the Lord comes in touch, that conditioned soul comes in touch with the Supreme Lord, comes in touch with the devotees of the Lord. So therefore, it is a rare opportunity for a conditioned soul to come to Krishna consciousness. नित्य बद्ध कृष्ण होते नित्य बहिर्मुख नित्य संसार भुंजे नर कादि दुख सई दोषे माया पिशाची दंड कोरे तारे आध्यात्मिक आदि तापत्रय तारे जारी मारे काम क्रोधेर दास हइया तार लाथी खाए भ्रमिते भ्रमिते यदि साधु वैद्य पाए तारो उपदेश मंत्रे पिशाची पलाए कृष्ण भक्ति पाए तबे कृष्ण निकटे आए. So Kaviraj Goswami describes what is the condition of a conditioned soul. Nitya Baddha Krishna Haite Nitya Bahirmukh. Living entities, they are away from the Lord. They have turned their face away from Krishna since time immemorial, and that's why they are wandering in this material world. They are being kicked by the material energy. Somehow, by the mercy of the Lord's devotees, if a conditioned soul gets a chance to practice bhakti, gets a chance to chant the names of the Lord, then he can come out of this material existence. Then a person can become fortunate. A adham, a unfortunate person can become most fortunate. मामनाराध्य दुःखार्थम कुटुंबासक्त मानसः सत्संग्रहितो मर्त्यो वृद्ध सेवा परिच्युत. A person who gets a chance to associate with devotees, worship the Supreme Lord, serve the superiors, get association of devotees, you know, one who understands that the purpose of life is to not just engage in family life but attain self realization. That is a rare opportunity. The process of bhakti is very, very rare. It is sudurlabha. That's why Akrura is saying, somehow by the mercy of the Lord, today I will get the darshan of the Supreme Lord. Only by mercy of devotees it can happen. Only by the mercy of the Lord it can happen. Guru Krishna Kripaye Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. And then, therefore, Akrura says, today my sinful reactions will be eradicated. My birth will become worthwhile because I will offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. Such a eagerness he has. And then he says, actually, Kamsa, he has shown me great mercy. By sending me to Braja, he has done such a great mercy because I will get darshan of the Lord's lotus feet. And anyone who gets darshan of the lotus feet of the Lord becomes free from the material existence. So, although the circumstances were very, very unfavorable, Akrura had to work and serve Kamsa throughout his life for so many years, practically 12 years, 11 years he was serving Kamsa. But he had that hope that one day Supreme Lord will come and deliver me. That is the hope a devotee should have. That is called Asha Bandha. Whatever problems may come in our life, whatever difficulties may come, miseries may come, but devotee should always be hopeful. As it is said, if you are not an optimist, you are an atheist. If we become despondent and discouraged and desperate, thinking that, oh, I cannot practice bhakti, I will not become pure, that means we don't have faith in the mercy of the Lord. So Akrura is saying, today Kamsa has done such a great favor. Why? I will get to see the lotus feet of the Lord. And anyone who gets the darshan of the lotus feet of the Lord becomes free from all the sinful reactions. Sanchintayed bhagavatascharanarvindam vajrankushadhvajasaroruhalanchanadhyam उत्तुङ्गरक्तविलसन्नखचक्रवाल ज्योत्स्नाभिराहतमहदृदयान्धकारम्. So Kapila Devi is saying, one should meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long, long time. Because when we meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord, then the effulgence which is coming from the toenails of the Lord can destroy the ignorance. And as he is thinking about the glories of the lotus feet, he becomes absorbed in Lord's quality of being controlled by love. Yadarchitam Brahma Bhavadi Surai Shriya cha Devya Munibhi cha Satvatai Gocharanaya Anucharai Charadvane Yad Gopikanam Kuchukunkumankitam. So he's saying that this lotus feet, they are worshipped by Brahma, they are worshipped by Shiva, they are worshipped by all the devatas. Shriyacha Devya, they are worshipped by the Lakshmi Devi. They are worshipped by the sages. They are worshipped by the great devatas, the Vaishnavas. Shriyacha Devya Munibhi cha Satvate. Satvata means Vaishnavas. And the same lotus feet, they are moving around in Vrindavan herding cows. Gocharanayu charanas charadvane. They are moving forest to forest, herding cows. And those lotus feet, they are smeared with the kumkum from the gopis' breast. That is the remembrance of Akrura. So he's saying that lotus feet of the Lord is worshipped by three types of people. First, they are worshipped by Brahma and the other devatas who are controllers of the universe. Second, they are worshipped by Lakshmi and intimate associates of the Lord. And third, they are worshipped by the devotees of the Lord. So therefore, you know, these three types of people are mentioned to show the superior nature of the people of Gokula. The lotus feet which are worshipped by Brahma, Shiva, Lakshmi, sages, Vaishnavas, what they are doing? They are moving in Vrindavan. They are herding cows. That is the superior nature of Braja Bhakti. So then Brahmaji is, that Akrura is absorbed. He says, today I shall see the face of Lord Mukunda. That face, now he's remembering the beautiful face of the Lord, which is, having the curly hair, having the beautiful, attractive cheeks, smiling glances, lotus like eyes. He's absorbed in thinking about Krishna. And then he says, somebody may say, Acha, what is the difference between you seeing the Lord? Because the demons are also seeing the Lord. When Lord kills the demons, demons also see the Lord. What is the difference? He says, today I will see the beauty of the Lord, and I am more fortunate. My eyes will become successful because I realize the beauty of the Lord. The demons, they don't realize the beauty of the Lord. And then he says, that Supreme Lord who is staying in Vrindavan, he is the witness of everything material and uh, everything material. All the cause, material cause and effect is coming from that Supreme Lord. Yet he is completely transcendental. This whole cosmic manifestation is coming from the Lord, but still he is completely transcendental. He is not affected by any of the material cosmic manifestation. And by his internal energy, he dispels the darkness of this material world. So it is described that in this verse, this Akrura is establishing the all powerful nature of the Supreme Lord. And then again, one very, very wonderful verse he's saying. So somebody may ask, okay, Lord destroys the ignorance, but how can one who is devoid of ordinary ego, how can the Lord who is devoid of ordinary ego, how can he be fully satisfied? And if he is fully satisfied, how he is engaging in so many pastimes in Vrindavan? So self-satisfied person should not do anything. So this verse says, Lord acts on pure spiritual level. Why does he act? He acts to give pleasure to his devotees. Yasya khilami vahabi sumangalai vacho vimishra gunakarma janmabhi prananti shumbanti punanti vai jagat yastad virakta shavashobhanamatihi yasya akhila amiv habi sumangalai. Amiv means the sins. All the sins are destroyed and all good fortune is created. How? Vacho vimishra gunakarma janmabhi. When somebody is speaking the guna, karma and janma of the Lord. When somebody is glorifying the qualities of the Lord, activities of the Lord and the appearance of the Lord. Those descriptions, they destroy all the sins, creates auspiciousness. What else happens? Prananti shumbhanti punanti vai jagat. It gives life. These words, they animate the world. They beautify the world. They purify the world. Yastad virakta shavashobhanamatihi. And if somebody is not speaking about Krishna, it is like decoration of a dead corpse. First canto of Bhagavatam also describes Tadvag visargo janatag viplavo yashmin pratishlokam avaddavatyapि namani anantasya shongtani yat shunvanti gayanti grananti sadhava. Those scriptures which are glorifying the pastimes of the Lord, They are heard, contemplated by the great sages. And those scriptures which are not glorifying the Supreme Lord's pastimes, they are like pilgrimage place for the crows. Tadvayasam tirthamushanti manasaha. Nayatra hamsa niramantu sikshaya. The swan-like devotees, they don't take pleasure in those literatures. So therefore, it is very, very important for us to understand that there are so many literatures in the world. The world is full of all the different types of novels, magazines, newspapers, full of, you know. And if we don't fill our mind with Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, Krishna Nam, then the mind will be full of all these things. You know. As Radha Govind Maharaj says about news, he says, "Ye tha kachra aaj tak, इंतजार करिए कल तक." You know. So what is described in all these newspapers and channels? All the garbage which is happening in the world. And people, they get so very hooked to all these informations. They spend hours in these things. Even a practicing sadhaka can get distracted from the glories of Krishna Katha, and he can get absorbed and hooked to hear the so many things which are happening in the world. They are Shavashobhanamati. They are decorations of a dead corpse. Why we have to take shelter of those descriptions? Prananti Shumbhanti Punanti Vai Jagat. The glories of Krishna, the words glorifying the name, form, pastimes, and appearances of the Lord, they prananti, they animate, they give life. Shumbhanti, they beautify. Punanti, they purify. Then who will be the foolish person who will leave all these things and hear all the garbage of the world? There is no one more unfortunate than that person who is not attracted to Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, Nivritta Tarshai Rupagiyamana Bhavoshada Shrotra Manobhirama Kahuttama Shloka Gunanuvada. Are, who is that person who will not hear Krishna Katha unless he is a killer of the soul or killer of the animal? So that is the glory of the Supreme Lord, Akrura is saying. And now, so Jiva Goswami says that Akrura is basically criticizing all the materialists, those who don't have any attraction for Krishna Katha, they are criticized by Akrura. Then he says, that same Supreme Lord, he comes in this world when he is requested by the Devatas. And that Supreme Lord is now residing in Vrindavan. Anybody who glorifies the Supreme Lord, his life becomes all auspicious. And then somebody may ask, okay, those are the general qualities. What are the special qualities of the Lord? Tam twadya nunam mahatam gatim gurum Trailokya kantam drishiman mahotsavam Rupam dadhanam shriyapsitat swadam Drakshye mamasan ushasha sudarshana. So he says, today I shall certainly see that great Guru, the master of the all great souls. Trailokya kantam, that Supreme Lord brings jubilation for all the three worlds. Mahotsavam, anybody who takes darshan of the Lord, just having darshan of the Lord is a festival for the eyes. Nityotsavam na tatripur dishubhi pibantyo naryo narasya mudita kupita nimescha. When Krishna enters Mathura, all the Mathura Vasis, they get astonished. They are glorifying the beauty of Krishna. They are glorifying the fortune of Brajvasis. They are glorifying the fortune of Gopis. Gopyah tapak kimacharam yadamushya rupam लावण्यसारमसमोर्ध्वमनन्य सिद्धम् दृग्भिः पिबन्त्यनुसवाभिनवम् दुरापम् एकान्तधाम यशस श्रिय ऐश्वरस्य. So they are astonished. Arey, what austerity gopis must have performed. They were getting darshan of that, this form of the Lord, which is Lavanya Saram. It is a sense of all the beauty. Asamordhvam, nothing is greater than Krishna's beauty. Ananya Siddham, there is no perfection greater than seeing Krishna. And the gopis, they were drinking the beauty of Krishna through their eyes. Ekantadham yashasha shriya aishwarasya. Krishna is the only abode of all the fortune, all the wealth, all the opulence, all the beauty. Krishna is the abode of all these things. Akrura is saying, today I shall see that form which brings jubilation to all the three worlds. And his form is a shelter, which is that shelter is desired by the goddess of fortune also. Drakshe. Today I shall certainly see that form. You know. So therefore now, Akrura is glorifying the beauty of the Lord in a specific way. That is the beauty of the Lord. Even Krishna himself gets astonished seeing his own beauty. Even the avatars of the Lord get attracted to the beauty of the Lord. Yanmartya Leela Paikam Soyogam Maya Balam Darshaitam Grihita Vismapanam Swasya Cha Saubhagarde Param Padam Bhushana Bhushanangam. In this world, when somebody wears some ornaments, the person becomes beautiful. But when Krishna wears ornaments, the ornaments become beautiful. So that is the beauty of Krishna. Then he thinks, when I'll see the Supreme Lord, what I'll do? I will offer my obeisances to Krishna and Balram. And I'll offer my obeisances to their lotus feet. That feet is desired by even great yogis. And not only Krishna and Balram, I'll offer my obeisances even to Brajvasis, all the cowherd friends. And then his devotional ecstasy is increasing. Akrura is not just satisfied with offering respects. He becomes more, you know, possessive, more desirous. And then he says, then you know what Lord will do? Lord will put his hand on my head. That hand which removes all the fear of the world. Shri Karagraham. And as gopis are saying, please put that hand on our head. And then he says, that hand, by offering entire inheritance, whatever they had, Purandar and Bali Maharaj attained Swarga. Today, I will get the touch of that hand. That same lotus hand which Krishna, with those lotus hands, Krishna wiped the sweat of the gopis in Ras Leela. And then, just see the faith and confidence of Akrura. That is a confidence a devotee should have. He says, and Lord will not consider me as enemy because I am coming because Krishna Kamsa has sent me. No. Are Krishna is Bhavgrahi. He is omniscient. He knows everyone internally and externally. So therefore he knows my desires. So therefore it is very, very interesting to understand that whatever desires we have, whatever sentiments we have, Krishna knows our desires. And Krishna reciprocates with our desires accordingly. So therefore, we have to be really honest. What do we want by our practice of Krishna consciousness? We have to be honest, sincerely honest with our practice of Krishna consciousness. I want to develop Krishna Prem I want to become free from the lust, anger, greed, desire for name, fame, prestige. We have to be very, very genuine, sincere, serious, and without ulterior motives. And then, Krura says, Lord, when the Lord will see me, he'll smile at me. He'll cast his loving, affectionate glance on me. And then, I'll stay there remaining fixed with joint palms. And I'll be there fallen at the feet of the Lord. And then, Lord will lift me up. Lord will first see me. Just by his glance, I'll become free from all the contaminations. Again, Akrura is still dissatisfied. He said, now, then, what Krishna will do? Krishna will lift me up and he'll embrace me. So first he said, okay, I'll touch the feet of the Lord. And then he said, Krishna will put his hand on my head. That is not sufficient. Krishna will embrace me also. And by that embrace, I'll be free from all the material bondage. I'll be free from all the fruitive activities. And then what I'll do? So this is a wonderful thought process going on. I'll stand near the Lord and the Lord will address, oh my dear Akrura, just by hearing these words, the purpose of life is fulfilled. If the Lord calls his devotees, oh my dear devotee, just hearing these words is sufficient. Chandrika vishadasmairai sarunapanga vikshitai swakarthanam ivarajah sattvabhyam srishtipalakai. So when Lord glances on his devotees, that glance creates a desire for service. When Lord smiles, that smile of the Lord evaporates the ocean of tears, ocean of lamentation. So therefore, the perfection of life is to have darshan of the Lord, and just if we just get the acknowledgement of the Lord, life is perfect. Just like, we hear many times a devotee is offering beautiful, beautiful prayers, and then Krishna just smiles. That smile is sufficient to continue our service for eternity. That is the same way we should be in our Krishna consciousness movement also. And we hear so many of the Prabhupada disciples telling, just Prabhupada, when he would be happy and he would smile, that smile was sufficient for us to continue serving Prabhupada. So therefore, we should serve the devotees in such a way that they should be satisfied and they should give their blessings from their heart. Whatever service you may be given, if we put our heart, if we try to give our best, then the devotees, they give blessings from their heart. Many times, devotees, they come and ask for the blessings. Oh, Prabhuji, please give me your blessings. And, devotees may give also. Oh, Prabhuji, please pray for me. Devotees may pray also. But if actually a devotee is pleased, you know, and he's really happy, satisfied by the service, then the prayers come from the core of the heart. And that reaches Krishna. So Akrura is saying, Lord will say, oh my dear Akrura, and the purpose of life is achieved. Then somebody may ask, but Lord is equal to everyone. Why he'll show, special favor to you? You know, So Akrura continues. He says, that Supreme Lord is beyond dualities. He has no enemies, no friends. He is equal to everyone, but he reciprocates according to the worship of his devotees. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamyam. With whatever desire we approach Krishna, Krishna reciprocates with that desire. And if we are really serious and sincere in our desires, then Krishna will reciprocate accordingly. So therefore, Chakravarti Thakur writes that it is just as According to the amount of surrender to a kalpa vriksha reciprocates. Krishna is the supreme kalpa vriksha. The amount of surrender we display, Krishna reciprocates according to that. Because Krishna is controlled by his devotees. Aham bhakta paradhino nahi aswatantra iva dvijah sadhubir grastharidayam bhaktair bhakta janapriyah. Krishna is telling to Durvasa Muni, I am not independent. I am dependent and controlled by my devotees. Aham bhakta paradhino. I am not independent. You know. So tomorrow is Narsim Chaturdashi. The famous example how Prahlad said, "Oh, your Lord is." Hiranyakashipu asked, "Your Lord is in this pillar?" Prahlad said, "Yes." Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmani adrishyata adbhutarupam udvahan stambhe sabhayam namrigam namanusham. To prove the words of his devotee true, Satyam vidhatum. My devotee has told this, hona hi chahiye. It has to happen. So he entered the pillar. Acharyas say that, Lord was waiting. Prahlad Maharaj will point at which pillar. And as soon as Prahlad pointed, yes, Lord is in this pillar, Lord entered that pillar. So Lord is controlled by his devotees. Aham bhakta paradhino. I stay in the heart of my devotees, devotees stay in my heart. Sadhavo hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayam toham madanyatena jananti naham tibhyo managapi. So that is the glory of the Lord. And then Akrura thinks, he says, then what will happen? As I'll be standing there still with my folded hands, Balram will grasp my hands and he'll lift me up and he will, take me to his home. And before that he'll embrace me also, and then he'll inquire about Kamsa and he'll inquire about all the other residents. And Shukdev Goswami continues, he says, as Akrura is thinking like this, he did not even realize when he reached Vrindavan. Although Mathura and Vrindavan is not a big distance, it takes around not even 2 hours. And Akrura's chariot must be very fast. But Akrura started off in the morning and he reached Brindavan in the evening. Why? Because in between he was so absorbed. Sometimes he would stand at one place, absorbed in meditation of the Lord. He did not even notice the road. Still he reached. You know, that is a wonderful thing. So then, as he entered Brindavan, what happened? Padani tasya khilaloka किरीटजुष्टामलपादरेणोः ददर्श गोष्ठे शितुकौतुकानि विलक्षितान्यब्जयवाङ्कुशाद्यैः. So now, as Akrura is entering Brindavan, he saw the footprints of Krishna. Those footprints which are worshipped by the Lokpal, the directors of the universe, they put on their head the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord. Kirita Jushtamala Padarenu. They put their helmets, their crowns at the lotus feet of the Lord. They put the dust on their feet, their head. The Darsh, he saw. In the cowherd pasture, he saw the feet, the footprints of the Lord. And those footprints of the Lord, they were marked with Abja, Yava, Ankusha, Adyai. How did Akrura recognize those footprints? Because they were marked with lotus, balikon, elephant gold. And as he saw the footprints of the Lord, what happened? He was absorbed, he was ecstatic, he was overwhelmed with ecstasy. Tad darshanala the vivriddha sambhramaha प्रेमोर्ध्वरोमाश्रु कलाकुलेक्षणः रथादवस्कन्द्य सतेष्वचेष्टत प्रभोरमुन्यङ्घ्रिरजां सहोविति. As soon as he saw the footprints, he jumped off the chariot and he exclaimed, "Oh, this is the dust of my Lord's feet." Darshan ahalad. He was overwhelmed with ecstasy. Vivriddha sambhramaha. He was completely overwhelmed. Prema unvardha. Ecstatic symptoms started manifesting on his body. Started crying tears. Romancha kampa. Shrutranga bhajo. Hair standing on end. Eyes filled with love. Kalakulekshanaha. He jumped off the chariot and began glorifying the Lord. He started rolling in the footprints, and then he thought something wonderful. He said, "Today, the very goal of my life is fulfilled. Deham dhritam iyanartho hitva dambham bhiyam shucham sandeshadyo harirlinga darshana shravanadibihi." He says, the ultimate goal of life for all the embodied beings is hitva dambham bhiyam shusham. He said, this ecstasy is the ultimate goal for all the embodied beings. So what he did? He gave up. Gave up pride, gave up fear, gave up lamentation. What was the fear? He was fearful of Kamsa. He was, because he gave up the fear that, oh, if Kamsa comes to know that I was, doing like this, I was having love for Krishna, he may kill me. He gave up that fear. He gave up the pride of being a member of aristocratic family. He was rolling in the dust of the footprints of a cowherd boy. Gave up that pride of aristocracy. Shucham. He gave up hitva dambham bhiyam shucham. He gave up lamenting for his house, for his sons, for his wife. No lamentation, no fear, no pride. Sandeshadyo harirlinga darshana shravanadibhi. He was absorbed in darshana, shravana adi. He was absorbed in seeing, hearing, and describing the things related to Krishna. That was the absorption of Akrura. And now he reached Vrindavan. Then he saw Krishna and Balram in the village of Braja. And he is absorbed in having darshan of Krishna and Balram. So Krishna and Balram, they were going to milk the cows that time. Krishna was wearing the yellow garments. Balram was wearing blue garments. Krishna was having the complexion of a cloud. And Balram was having a complexion of a lotus. Krishna was, and he was white. Balram was like white. So Krishna and Balram, they were walking like elephants, regal gait, very beautifully, glancing upon all the inhabitants. And thus, just by the glance of Krishna and Balram, they were, creating happiness in all the Brajvasis. By their footprints, they were beautifying the cowherd pasture ground. And they were wearing very beautiful flower garland, ornaments, necklace. In this way, they were looking so very beautiful. So in this way, Shukdev Goswami says that, O King Parikshit, these two, Krishna and Balram, they resembled gold bedecked mountain. One was of the emerald, one mountain was of emerald, and other was of silver. That's how, Akrura he saw. He had the darshan of the Lord. And he was completely absorbed in that darshan. So as Krishna, Akrura saw first time Krishna and Balram, he immediately jumped off his chariot, fell down at the feet of Krishna and Balram like a rod, Dandvat. That is a success of a devotee's life, to get a darshan of the Lord and to just surrender oneself at the lotus feet of the Lord. And that was the perfection Akrura achieved after such a hard struggle of being with Kamsa, you know, working under Kamsa for such a long time. Many times it is so very difficult to work in an environment which is not very favorable. But if we know that the price, this is a price we have to pay to advance in spiritual life, then a devotee is ready to undergo that trouble. Akrura was ready to undergo the trouble of staying with Kamsa, following the orders of Kamsa, because he knew in the future I will get darshan of the Lord. And with that faith, he continued, although he did not like. He had no happiness serving Kamsa. Who will like to serve a sinful person, especially a devotee? And Kamsa is a person who is planning to kill the Supreme Lord. Why Akrura will serve that person? He had hope. Yes, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. That is the hope a devotee should have. You know. And that's how Akrura, although externally he was there in association of Kamsa, but he was like a lotus flower. Padma Patra Ivambhasa. That's how we have to be in this world. Many times we may be surrounded by so many people who are not Krishna conscious, who may have sinful inclinations. We don't have to take their association. We have to be like a lotus flower, untouched, lotus leaf, untouched by all the mud. That is the art we have to learn in this Krishna consciousness. To be untouched by the glamour, untouched by the temptations of the world. And that's how Akrura, he continued his service. And now the result of his service is fructifying. He got darshan of the Lord. He jumped and fell at the feet of the Lord like a rod. And as he touched the feet of the Lord, he became ecstatic. All the symptoms of ecstasy started manifesting. And because of the ecstatic symptoms, he could not even speak. And this happens many times. We hear in Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj could not speak first. Dhruv Maharaj could not speak, you know, and similarly Akrura could not speak first. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj, out of humility, he did not speak first, you know. So Akrura could not speak. And then, recognizing Akrura, Krishna understood, recognized, oh, he is Akrura. And he caught Akrura by his hand, drew him close, and embraced him. Whatever Akrura had thought, Krishna is omniscient. He understood what is the desire of my devotee. So he reciprocated accordingly. He did everything. And Shukdev Goswami says, the hand of the Lord is having the sign of the chariot wheel. That with those hands, Krishna embraced Akrura. Bhagvam stat abhipretya rathangankita parirabhya abhyuparkshya prita pranatavatsalah. So pranatavatsalah, anyone who is surrendered to Krishna, Krishna is very, very affectionate to that person. So therefore, Akrura, he was such a great devotee of the Lord. Lord embraced him, reciprocated with him in such a loving way. And then Akrura, he folded his hands and bowed in front of the Lord. And as he was thinking, Balram, he grasped his hand and took Akrura to his house. And along with that, Krishna also went. Krishna Balram, along with Akrura, they went to Nanda Bhavan. And then as Akrura entered Nanda Bhavan, Nanda Maharaj was so happy. So Balram, He gave a nice place for Akrura to sit. He gave a cow in charity. He personally massaged the feet of Akrura. He fed him, you know. He fed him lots of prasad with fine tastes. Nivedyagam chatithye sambahya shrantamadritah annam bahugunam medhyam shraddhayopaharad vibuhu. Annam bahugunam, lots of varieties of tastes. So Chakravarti Thakur gives a nice insight. He says, actually, what has happened when Akrura uh, departed from Mathura. So last day was Ekadashi. So next day morning Dwadashi, fast breaking should be done. But Akrura was so very absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, he did not even break his fast of Ekadashi. Just like today's Dwadashi, today's yeah, Trayodashi. So Akrura did not even break his fast. And it is said that if you don't break your fast in the morning, you should not break it in the evening. So when Krishna reached Vrindavan, it was evening already. And when Akrura reached Vrindavan, it was already evening. But when Akrura entered the house of Nanda Maharaj, and Krishna and Balram gave him so many varieties of foodstuffs, rice, and everything to eat, Akrura, he ate everything. He did not follow his vow. He broke his rule of, we should not eat in the evening on the Dwadashi day if you are not broken your fast. So Akrura broke that rule because he wanted to eat at Krishna's house. And we hear the same thing in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. When all the devotees they come from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri, so Sarvam Bhattacharya and Pratap Rudra Maharaj they are observing all these devotees entering. So all these devotees they directly come. They don't even go and take darshan of Jagannath. Straight away they come to take darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he would do? He would feed all the devotees lots of prasad. So Pratap Rudra Maharaj got confused. He said, what is this? Tirthera vidhana hoy shauru uposhan. You know, ye to chhadi, kare, annapan. They are doing annapan. One should do shaving and one should do fasting when one enters a holy place. And these devotees, they are not doing shaving also, they are not doing fasting, they are doing annapan. What is this happening? So Bhattacharya, Sarvam Bhattacharya says, Array, if directly Lord is serving Visheshe Shri Haste Prabhu Kare Pariveshan, Itala Bachadi Kon Kare Uposhan. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would personally serve. So Sarvam Bhattacharya is saying, Array, if Lord is personally serving with his lotus hands, who will do fasting? Giving up this wonderful opportunity. So therefore, Akrura, when he came to the Maharaja's house, and Krishna and Balram are personally feeding, who will give up the opportunity of taking directly from the hand of Krishna and Balram and do fasting? So Krishna, he, honored all, so Akrura honored all the prasad. And then later Balram, he offered lots of aromatic herbs and gave him garland, chandan wood, chandan paste. And Akrura, he was really ecstatic. He enjoyed the highest pleasure. And later, Nanda Maharaj, he asked Akrura, oh Akrura, how are you living under Kamsa? And there is no need to ask, how are you? Because you are living just like a sheep under the care of a butcher. So who can ask for the welfare of that sheep? It's so very painful to see that Kamsa who killed all his nephews. He killed the 6 sons of Devaki. And you are staying under his jurisdiction. So what can we tell about you? So in this way, Nanda Maharaj was asking and talking with Akrura. So Akrura, in this way, he was honored by Nanda Maharaj and honored and served by Krishna and Balram. He forgot all his fatigue. So that is the end of this chapter. We'll end here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। कृष्ण भगवान की जय।